Good evening, folks. I'm gonna talk about this, and we're gonna try to get this straight. First off, and probably foremost, how do you, first off, shoot a gun? A person behind the gun. That's how you shoot a gun. Second of all, how do guns go off? You pull a trigger. First off, you pull off the safety, then you pull a trigger. Then I'll just do a little test, just set these guns down, and just sit around all day, see if they go off by themselves. But the Democrats pull this narrative where they just set a gun down and just make it seem like it goes off by itself. When it goes into schools, like a gun goes into schools and it goes off by itself. No, Democrats, that's where you're wrong. A gun doesn't just go into a school by itself and shoots people. There has to be a person behind a gun that does it. I mean, come on, people. Wake up. I mean, it's no different than a person who's trespassed from a property, goes on the same property and just does the same stuff he did before. Wake up. And you think a sign stand there that says no guns allowed on this property, you think that's really going to stop a criminal who has a gun to go on the property and do something about it? No. And doing the strictest gun control, like they have in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, to be specific, New York City, you really think that would have stopped anything? No. You can have you can have the strictest gun control and put it on the law-abiding citizen. Yeah, the law-abiding citizen might follow it. But do you really think that's going to stop the criminal? I don't know how many times we'll have to have this conversation. I'll be putting this kind of video up every single time this kind of thing happens. What happened in Texas is sad. Yes, I admit, that is sad. But from my reports, I heard 14 people dead, 14 children dead, one teacher dead. So what happened there was sad. I mean, it never should have happened. But it's beyond ridiculous why it has to come down to that. It never should be that way. People need to be more conscientious of others. They need to be more conscientious of what people decide. But I'd be glad to bring this debate up every single time. I mean, Democrats obviously don't really think about what others think. I mean, the Democrats really didn't think straight about what was going to happen when we were little. I mean, they belittle everyone who doesn't agree with them. Literally. They literally call anyone who doesn't agree with them a piece of garbage. They literally just yell at you. That's literally what they do. I've noticed that with literally a lot of Democrats I debate with. They literally trash me and tell me I'm a bad person. Like someone I work with. He's a Democrat, and he pretty much will trash me from top to bottom, saying I'm a piece of garbage. And I said, dude, let's try to make this a try to have a civil conversation here, and here you are bashing me, saying I'm a piece of garbage because you don't agree with what I have to say. This is not how a civilian life is, and this is how the Democrats treat people. I am a strong Republican and conservative, and when I debate people, I don't jump down people's throats. I try not to, at least. I try not to let it get that far. It shouldn't go that far at all. If you see something that is bad, if you see something suspicious, report it. It's that simple, people. Don't let it get that bad. If you see something get out of hand, report it. It's that simple, people.
Don't just scrape through it. People with Graves could also have a different condition called thyroid eye disease, which needs different treatment.
Come on, this is common sense, people. We shouldn't have to have these kind of conversations.
And the go-getters. For shoulders to lean on.
I got a 16, my grandpa's 16 gauge down there. I actually shot just the other day. I shot at a groundhog because he was trying to dig a hole underneath my small building in the back end. He was trying to do crazy things with it, so I threatened to get out my 16 gauge, but just as he always has good ears, he got in there and managed to get inside his hole, so unfortunately I failed to capitalize on that. Groundhog wins. But you know what? It is what it is. You can't blame the gun without a person behind the gun. That's how that works. Apparently the Democrats still haven't learned that. But with that being said, I got things I gotta do. With that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.